In recent months, the gaming industry has seen the rise of a concerning new trend: advanced access. An evolution of the already problematic early access model, advanced access allows publishers to charge exorbitant prices for the privilege of playing unfinished pre-beta versions of upcoming games. While early access itself has issues, advanced access takes it to a whole new level of exploitation. What is advanced access? According to Steam, one of the biggest digital game distributors, Advanced Access allows developers to release functional but unfinished games to Steam and provides them with a framework to get feedback and iterate on their games based on community feedback. In theory, this allows developers to improve their games with the help of real player data and input before the official launch. However, in practice, Advanced Access has become a way for publishers to double dip, charging full price for broken, incomplete games, and then charging even more for early beta access on top of that. It preys on impatient gamers who are so eager to play the latest hyped release that they're willing to pay a premium to be guinea pigs. The pitfalls of early access. To understand why advanced access is so problematic, it's important to look at the issues that already plague early access games: lack of polish and optimization, missing features and content, unstable servers and connectivity problems, imbalanced gameplay, poor performance even on high-end hardware. We've seen countless examples in recent years of early access titles launching in rough shape. Games like Cyberpunk 2077 and many live service games overpromised and underdelivered, launching with a slew of technical issues and cut content that was shown in previews. A prime example is the recent early access launch of the highly anticipated survival MMO The Day Before. Players reported falling through the map into an endless void right from the tutorial, getting trapped behind walls, and game-crashing fatal errors. The game was clearly not in a playable state, leading to a flood of refund requests and scathing reviews. Another pitfall is when games are marketed dishonestly, with trailers and descriptions promising features that are missing or downscaled in the actual early access release. This amounts to false advertising. DayZ is notorious for staying in early access for over 5 years. Games like The Dead Linger were abandoned in broken states as the developers ran out of money. Baldur's Gate 3 has been applauded for launching in early access as a complete game with no microtransactions or DLC, contrasting with the nickel and diming that has become common. With the shift to a live service model, some developers use early access as an excuse to skimp on quality assurance testing and release shoddy, unpolished products. The line between beta and full release has blurred. Battlefield 2042 was lambasted for feeling like a paid beta test with poor performance, bugs, server issues, and cut content. Halo Infinite had a rocky launch, missing features like campaign co-op and forge mode. Such games feel like $60 betas rather than complete products. Advanced access, paying extra for broken betas. With advanced access, publishers are now asking players to pay even more money on top of the base game price for the privilege of beta testing their unfinished games. Some upcoming games are charging egregious amounts like $80 to $100 for a few days of early access to pre-beta builds. Star Wars Outlaw, I am looking at you. This is an absurd amount of money to charge for what is essentially just early beta access. The games will likely be riddled with bugs, glitches, server issues, and missing content at that stage. Paying customers should not be treated as QA testers who have to pay for the honor. In these cases, the advanced access is in addition to the price of the base game, so players are essentially paying twice, once for the full game and again for early beta access to an inferior version. The slippery slope of monetization. The rise of advanced access is part of a larger trend of increasingly aggressive monetization in gaming. It started with microtransactions, then expanded to loot boxes, battle passes, and pay-to-win mechanics. Now publishers have realized they can get away with charging extra for beta access too. At a certain point, players need to vote with their wallets and refuse to support these exploitative business models. Buying into advanced access only encourages publishers to keep doing it. Yes, there is an argument that this extra revenue allows developers to improve their games more prior to launch, but in most cases, it just seems like a blatant cash grab, especially when the advanced access is priced so high and offers so little tangible benefit to players. What can be done? As players, the best thing we can do is be patient and speak out against anti-consumer practices like overpriced advanced access. Don't pre-order games, don't buy microtransactions, and don't pay extra for glorified betas. Wait for reviews, buy games on deep discount if you must. Developers should focus on making the best complete games they can without all the predatory monetization gimmicks. Delays are always preferable to launching unfinished messes. Ultimately, it will likely take legislation and regulation to really rein in the gaming industry's worst impulses. Loot boxes are already facing scrutiny and bans in some countries. Misleading advertising and selling unfinished products may need to be next. Advanced access is a worrying trend that takes advantage of eager gamers and normalizes launching broken, unfinished games at full price. Players should be extremely cautious about spending extra money for beta access, as these pricey upgrades rarely provide good value. By voting with our wallets and pushing back against exploitative monetization, we can hopefully steer the gaming industry in a more player-friendly direction. But it will require patience and willpower to resist the FOMO marketing tactics publishers employ. Until then, don't fall for the advanced access trap. Your money and time are better spent elsewhere. Wait for games to be finished, fairly priced, and properly patched before diving in. Gaming should be a hobby, not an expensive exercise in frustration. That's all for today, folks. Drop a subs if you liked what you saw here. See you soon and be safe out there.